going to have the rainbow colors pick our May TBR, fun, summery, colorful TBR. Oh no, there's too many really good blue books that I want to read. Look at this. It's so long. I just feel like pink is a color that deserves to be in the rainbow. And I don't know why ROYGBIV didn't include pink. Maybe it's because like ROYGBIV sounded weird. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. Welcome to our May TBR. So this is the end of every TBR video, but I love TBR videos. I love picking a new monthly TBR. It just gets me so excited for the season ahead. And even though it's a summer, it's like a spring summer TBR, I'm actually in a sweatshirt, but I am also in shorts. I'm not really giving spring summer. I feel like this is like, you know, bright, right? Summery colors. I don't know. We are doing our May TBR today. For this year, I've been doing a different way to pick my monthly TBRs every month. So January was dice, February was candy hearts, March was a random spinner wheel and Notion, and April was my pets choosing my TBR, which was so much fun, and I loved doing that video. It was so much fun. I love like rewatching it back because it has my like little babies in it, and it's, oh my god, it's so fun. Even because I couldn't do that one again, I would do that one again, and that was so much fun. I thought of like, what's like a spring, summer type theme, and then I was like, rainbows. I feel like when you search like spring, summer images, it's like butterflies, bugs, flowers, and rainbows. Those are the four things that I feel like come up majority of the time. We are going to have the rainbow colors pick our May TBR, and it's actually perfect because there are 7 rainbow colors that I remember from school, but we are going to add one more rainbow color. We're gonna have 8 books this month for our TBR. Probably our most colorful TBR yet. That's another reason I wanted to try to do this TBR theme, because last month, even though I did like my pets choose my TBR, it was all like dark books, dark colored books, and that's fine because it was a lot of dark romance, but I want like a fun, summery, colorful TBR for our going into summer months. For me, the way that I think of it is summer is June, July, and August. So this is our last spring TBR, so I thought that we could do a rainbow one, and I think it's gonna be so fun. I'm so excited to see the pretty colors that we're gonna have because I have so many beautiful books and I want to showcase them. We're gonna use the acronym that I learned in school. I'm assuming everyone learned in school, and that's ROYGBIV. Each letter, it's an acronym, and each letter stands for the color of the rainbow. And we're also gonna add pink on the end because I feel like there was a missed opportunity to add pink in there. It also gives me a lot of room to choose whatever books I would want to read this month, because it's just like we're just going based off of colors, and I love that. Our first one is our red. So we need a red book. I'm looking for like a bright red book that really stands out because, like I said, I want this to be a super colorful TBR. And of course, we are going to include our sprayed edges in this as well. And we're also have a bonus book at the end because I have like the perfect book for a bonus rainbow TBR. There are actually less like bright red books than I thought that I would have, but one that is standing out to me and that I think would be perfect just for the summer, because the book that I kept looking at was Yours Truly because that is like perfectly bright red, but this spine is like pretty red, and you know, it's the sunset colors, and it's perfect for going into summer TBR. I love that. So Just for the Summer is Say You'll Remember Me, just came out, but it's the 3rd book in the Interconnected series by Abby Jimenez. I think I only read Yours Truly from Abby Jimenez, but this is the 2nd book. It came out last year, but I've been saving it for like a summer TBR, so I think this is perfect going into summer. It is a contemporary romance, but both people in the romance think that they're cursed in love. There's Emma, and she thinks that every guy she dates finds true love right after they break up. Like, she's her ex's good luck charm because it always seems to be that her ex finds their one true love right after breaking up with her. So she's like, this is crazy, I'm cursed, I'm never gonna find love. And then there's also Justin, who she met on Reddit, and he's basically, oh my god, I have the same exact problem. So they meet up and they think that their curses will cancel each other out. Like, okay, let's date for a little bit and then we'll find our one true love right afterwards. That's what they plan to do. And the story evolves from there, and that's just such a funny premise to me. Abby Jimenez's books, from the one I read, I can see that there's always like more serious of a topic in there too. So for this one, it is Emma's toxic mother shows up and is reintroduced back into her life, and Justin has to assume guardianship of his 3 siblings suddenly. So they're trying to date, find their true love, and now they have this like real life stuff thrown at them. It's just a cute cover also, and I think that it is going to be a really fun read, and it's going to be a really fun spring summer read. I'm excited. We're going to go with the overall red color right here, even though it has more red down here. So that's going to be our first book. I feel like there's going to be a lot of romances. Just thinking about it now, it seems like the contemporary romances are the ones that have the brightest covers. Like, fantasies are, besides like acronym romances, are usually like darker tones. Dark romances are definitely darker tones. Non-fictions are more like neutral tones. So we're definitely going to have a lot of romance in our prediction in this TBR. But we'll see. Okay, so that's our R. And then next we have O. And that is orange. So this is going to be a little bit tricky because I don't know if I have many orange books. Besides, like, see, this is the thing where it's like if I stack my TBR, it'll look like a rainbow, but if I look at the covers, it won't. So this is blue, but it has an orange spine. So I feel like I shouldn't pick that one. The one that I'm in between is either People With Me on Vacation, that's that bright orange color, or the 7-Year Slip. It's more like a yellow orange. Okay, I'm so sorry, we're back. My camera battery died. So rude. We are back and ready to pick the rest of our TBR. So I was talking about how our second book, it could either be this one and this one, but as I was changing the battery pack, I was looking at this and I feel like this definitely gives more orange and this gives more yellow. So I am going to go with People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Emily Henry is one of my favorite authors. She just came out with her new book, Great Big Beautiful Life. This is one of the books I haven't read. I haven't read People Meet on Vacation, Book Lovers, or now her brand new one. Those are the only 3 Emily Henry books that I have not read. This one is interesting because I got this as like a library book years ago, probably like 5 years ago at this point, and I started reading it and I didn't get into it. So I like soft DNF'd it, which is very odd for me for Emily Henry books now looking back. But that was before I like discovered Emily Henry and my love for her. So maybe looking at it with like fresh eyes, I will feel different about this. I feel like I only got like a couple chapters in that one time anyway. So maybe it gets better, who knows? But I do remember the premise of this one. Poppy and Alex, they're best friends, but they had a falling out a few years ago. And now they don't talk, but Poppy realizes that the last time she was truly happy was on her last trip with Alex. So she calls him up out of the blue and convinces him to go on one last trip with her just to see if they can rekindle their friendship. And based on the fact that it's a contemporary romance, I'm assuming that means that they fall in love, best friends, to strangers, to lovers, second chance romance. But it's weird because this is not like a romance. Like they didn't start out as romantic partners, they started out as best friends. So I feel like that is a little bit of a different trope anyway, but it's one that I'm interested in and one that I feel like, again, is a good summary book. People Will Meet on Vacation. I have a vacation coming up this month, so I am probably going to bring this book with me on vacation, and it'll be perfect. This is our orange book, but when we look at it on our TBR, it's going to look green. So that's going to resonate a little bit, but it's still going to be bright, so that's fun. Okay, so our third book is Y, if we're following our acronym. So that is yellow. So now we need to find a yellow book. My literal robot is cycling like a few feet behind you, so if you hear that, that's what it is. I mean, I could go with 7-Year Slip. I did see it gave more yellow vibes. You know what? We're going to stick with the romance. The summer theme, we're going to choose... This summer will be different. Oh my god, she has a new book out now, I'm pretty sure. But Carly Fortune, this is her book that she had out like a year or maybe even 2 ago. I talked about this in my last TBR. So honestly, I'm just gonna let past Sarah take it over because I feel like I have talked about this book so much for never having read it because it just always cycles through my monthly TBRs, and then during the month I just don't reach for it, so it always comes back on the monthly TBR. And I think this month is going to be the month where I just have to read it. Like, I have to. It's summer, again, we're going for the summer vibes. It's a romance, but I am gonna let past Sarah from last TBR take that over because she described it better. This is the last book in Carly Fortune's backlog that I haven't read yet. I read Every Summer After and I read Meet Me at the Lake. I was so on both of them. I feel like what I always say is that Carly is good at writing an atmospheric read. I love her settings. I love the way she describes them. I just never really connect super well with the main characters because I feel like they make choices that I don't agree with, and it's hard to really connect to a main character that makes choices that you don't agree with. So this is gonna be a third chance to see if I like this book, see if I like her writing. Basically, it is about Lucy and Felix, and Lucy is a tourist vacationing on Prince Edward Island. She meets Felix, and they have basically a one-night stand. A couple years pass. Her best friend is getting married. She's the maid of honor. For some reason, her best friend says, like, the only thing that you can't do is fall in love with my brother. I think that's how it goes. And then Lucy doesn't know that Felix was her best friend's brother, which is always the thing that gets me, because, like, how do you not know what your best friend's brother looks like? Like, I'm sorry. How? That's the point that I feel like I'm gonna have an issue with this book. I just don't feel like it's that realistic. But we'll see. We'll see. Third chance. We'll give her a good job explaining it. I'm hoping she did. Maybe it'll get read, maybe it won't. Again, as I said in the past, I am iffy on Carly Fortune books, and I'm very iffy on this premise. So we'll see. Now we're on to G, which is green. I feel like weirdly I have a lot of green books. I don't know. I didn't do this on purpose, but I feel like we're really gonna stick. Oh no! Ooh, let's do this one. I was gonna do another one, another vacation book, but let's stop with the vacations. And let's do The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. I always have to have a Sarah Adams book in my monthly rotation. I just love how she writes, and it's perfect. It's all green, perfect for a rainbow color. The way that she fleshes out characters makes it so much more interesting of a story to read than just a normal contemporary romance in my mind. And she always writes really cool, at least in her other series, she writes really cool side characters that are like really quirky and fun. This is actually the first book in the Interconnected series involving this one and the rule book. I read, sorry, again, it's my litter robot. Sorry for that long pause. I had to fix my litter robot, but it's fixed, and we're talking about the cheat sheet. That took so long, I honestly don't remember where I left off. I'm pretty sure I was up to the explaining what this book is about part. Bree and Nathan. Nathan is an NFL legend, and Bree is his best friend. She has a secret crush on him, and he's now a very famous NFL star, so it makes him a lot more out of reach. She was gonna become a professional ballerina, but then she got into an accident, so she had to change course. Now she owns her own dance studio. And then she gets into like a bad publicist type thing, and they have to work together to fix it. So that's what the cheat sheet is about. Again, I love Sarah Adams' writing. I love her writing voice. I think this is going to be a really good read, and I'm excited to add another one of Sarah Adams' books to my reading list. Next, we're up to Be Blue. Tried to go for like a bright colored blue book. And honestly, we have so many. Ooh! Oh no, there's too many really good blue books that I want to read. So let me tell you just right now that one of the books on my radar was this one. It's a fantasy book. And then the other one that's on my radar is my very first Ellen Hildebrand book, Hotel Nantucket. Am I in a fantasy mood or an Ellen Hildebrand mood? I think I'm going to go with the Ellen Hildebrand. I really want to read Curious Tides. I think that it's going to be such a cool story to get into, but I feel like just with the vibe of like the easy, breezy romances of summer reads, we're going to go with The Hotel Nantucket by Ellen Hildebrand. It's her 28th novel, which is crazy to me, but I think this is the start of a whole Interconnected series that Ellen writes. People always say this is a really good summer on the beach type author, and I'm hoping this May that I will be spending a lot of time on the beach. So we're gonna go with Ellen Hildebrand. What I think it's more, it is a romance I think, but it's more also of like a literary fiction book, and it also has like a little bit of a mystery element to it. And it also happens in the Roaring 20s. So much fun. It's giving Last Great American Dynasty. That's what it's giving, and I'm obsessed with that song. I'm excited! I'm so excited to get into her. I just hear so many good things about her. We're gonna add Ellen Hildebrand right there as our blue book. Next, we are on I, which is indigo, which basically means a mix between blue and purple. Wait, I have actually the perfect one, I think. We're gonna go with the book that's blue and purple, and that's Hex. Look how cool this edition is. It's like holographic. It's blue and purple, and I think that's actually perfect for the indigo color. So we are going to go with Hex by Emily McIntyre, a romance, but our first dark romance. So I think that that's gonna be really fun. This is the most recent book in the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. The last book I read of them was Wretched, and I think I have 2 books, Twisted and Crossed, in between the last book I read and this book. But it's an interconnected series, but I do not think you have to read them in like the same exact order. I'm gonna go with Hexed next. So Hexed next. But what's cool about the Never After series is it's a reimagining of your favorite fairy tales, and this is a reimagining of The Little Mermaid. The main character is a villain, and that's how all of her books go. Hexed is a dark contemporary romance. Her last few books in the series were dark contemporary romances. I think she only had 1 dark royal romance, Scarred, but that was like my favorite one, so I wish we would come with a new one that was dark royal romance, because that was just so good. The main character is Ursula, and I think the main interest is Enzo Marino, like a mariner, because Eric was a sailor. But it is just so cool the way that McIntyre intersperses Easter eggs from the original fairy tale that we know and love in her books. Her name is Vanessa, but like it's spelled V-E-N-E-S-A, and that was what Ursula's human name was. And then the love interest is Enzo, which sounds like Eric. I think that it's going to be so much fun. So he's the prince of La Cosa Nostra. She's the witch who steals his heart. And there's like, you know, a singing element to this because of course. And I just think it's going to be so much fun. I like this because A, it's coming out very colorful and I approve. But also we have all different authors, which are authors that I really love. So that's exciting as well. Next is V Violet, which is purple. Going to head back to the romance area of the bookshelf. We are going to do another one of my authors that I really love, but I haven't read any books from her recently, and that is Lauren Asher. And we're going to choose Love Redesigned for our Violet book cover. So the reason I've been avoiding this book is because look how thick it is. It's so long. It is a romance. It's the contemporary romance, and I just feel like romances don't have to be 400, 500 pages, and I feel like the more pages you add, you're just adding them to add and doesn't really add to the story. That's my issue with Lucy Score books. The Lauren Asher books weren't like this for her like Throttled series, but then she started with The Final Offer in her Dreamland Billionaire series. The Final Offer was so long. The fine print, the first book was like normal size, but The Final Offer was long, and then I feel like that's gonna be her trend where she's gonna do all long books. So we're gonna give it a try. It is the Lakefront Billionaires series. So it is a billionaires romance, and it's about Julian and Dahlia. It is an enemies to lovers, because on the very first line, Julian says, "If I ever caught on fire, Dahlia Munoz would fan the flames with a smile." And I just kind of love that. I kind of love that dynamic with our 2 main characters. So I think this one's going to be fun. I hear there's a lot of like little pranks involved, which could be fun. But again, I just hope that she doesn't exhaust me with her word count. That's the only thing that I hope that Lauren Asher doesn't do. And something I will say about her books is I read a lot of her books because they're just so easy to read. Like, I'm not gonna say they're like the best writing in the entire world, but they are very easy to read, and they are so long. That is the only issue that I have. So I'm hoping that this will start our Lakefront Billionaires part of her whole backlog. So we're gonna add Love Redesign. It's also, did I even really explain what the book is about? So it's an enemies to lovers. It takes place in Lake Wisteria. Dahlia is an interior designer, But Julian's mother like helps Dahlia get a job and they have to spend a lot of time together or something like that. So that is this book. For our purple, and now our bonus color, pink. I just feel like pink is a color that deserves to be in the rainbow. And I don't know why ROYGBIV didn't include pink. Maybe it's because like ROYGBIV sounded weird. I was gonna do Emily Henry's new book, Great Big Beautiful Life, but we already have an Emily Henry book and I kind of want to do different authors. So we have all these romances, one dark romance. I think I'm gonna go with a fantasy. I might be feeling fantasy, so we're gonna go with Throne of the Fallen. This is actually more of like a purpley pink color, but it's definitely like, those are like what I would consider purple. And this is a different, the main overall cover is different color, so I'm gonna say it's more like pink, but it is like purpley pink. By Carrie Maniscalco. It is her first book in her spin-off series of the Kingdom of the Wicked series, and if you watch my top book recs that I posted last year, I love Carrie Maniscalco's Kingdom of the Wicked series. I think it's amazingly done. I think she did such a good job developing her world and just making everything fit so well in the end, and I think she's just a really good world builder for fantasy series. This is within the same world of Kingdom of the Wicked, but whereas Kingdom of the Wicked, the main character was Wrath, this is going to be the main character is Envy. What this world is there are the 7 deadly sins are personified in princes. They rule the 7 circles of hell. So the Kingdom of the Wicked was about Wrath. This is about the King of Envy, and it is his story. Again, it's all green with envy, but it's his story and it involves a game and his romance. So I am very interested to see how this plays out, and I love this edition. This is the Barnes edition. I think the regular edition is just black with like purple flowers, but I love this edition. I'm glad I got the pinky one. But yeah, that is what this book is, and it is my fantasy. I'm excited to add a fantasy to my TBR. First and foremost, I'm a fantasy reader. I love fantasy, so I'm excited that we added this book to there. Okay, we are stacked. We are fully stacked with our TBR, but I said I want to add a bonus TBR. And that is going to be one that I feel like involves all the colors of the rainbow. And that's Say You'll Remember Me. Now, I know we already have an Abby Jimenez book on our TBR. The first one, Just for the Summer. And this is actually the next book in that Unconnected series from Just for the Summer. So the stipulation will have to be that we read Just for the Summer. And then we can move on to this book. Like, that is beautiful. And then, of course, that is beautiful. If we can get both of these Abby Jimenez books read, this is our bonus book. I know I said I don't want to repeat authors, but it's our bonus book. It's just like, if I have time, I really want to get to this book. I probably won't, but I really want to, especially if I wanted to include it in this rainbow TBR, because look, that is rainbow. That is like a personification of a rainbow TBR, and I want to include it in our rainbow TBR. So we're going to. Xavier is a veterinarian, but he also looks like a Greek god, of course. He meets Samantha, and what he says is like, comes off completely entirely wrong, and then she has a bad taste in her mouth about him. So there's a little enemies thing. They have this like amazing date, but then he like says the worst possible thing he could possibly say. So she's like, no. And it's just about like, I guess him like making that up to her. I heard mixed things about this, so I'm interested to see what I feel about this. Again, if I get to this book, we'll be done with her Enchanted series. Well, we still have to read Part of Your World, but we'll have read the most updated book in her Enchanted series that just came out, and we'll see. So yeah, that is Say You'll Remember Me. And that concludes our rainbow TBR. I am so happy looking at this. Look how beautiful it looks. A minute for the beautiful TBR. Thank you very much. We chose the rainbow colors to choose our TBR. First, we have Say You'll Remember Me. This is our bonus book. This is because we're doing a rainbow TBR. I just felt like I need to include this rainbow book. We have Throne of the Fallen, our only fantasy book, but I'm very excited to read it. For Violet or Purple, we have Lovely Designs. For Indigo, which is blue and purple, which I think Hex is actually perfect for, we have Hex. For Blue, we have The Hotel Nantucket. Very excited to get into the world of Ellen Hildebrand. For Green, we have The Cheat Sheet. For yellow, we have This Summer Will Be Different. For orange, we have People We Meet on Vacation. And then red is Just for the Summer, which is, this could also pass like an overall rainbow book, but I feel like it's overall giving like red tones. So that is why I added it for red. A very romance heavy TBR, but that's good because if I have a lot of beach time in May, I could get these read and done like that. Let me know if you read any of these books or like which one's your favorite, because I'm really curious. I feel like the one that I'm most excited to read, it's really hard because I'm like anticipating all of these, but I am very excited to read Just for the Summer because I feel like this book has been on my TBR for so long and I've heard such good things about Just for the Summer that I have been wanting to read it since I got it last year, but I just didn't get around to it. So that is one of the most excited book that I am wanting to read this month. But yes, other than that, that is going to be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.